part we don't need to record it.
Sorry, go ahead, Yoram.
Okay. No, anyway, I was at a meeting now and I met the brother of the head of content for the ocean cleanup, head of marketing and content. And we met by chance, basically. And I mean, the subject was something else, some other impact issues. So we didn't chat much, but we're going to chat tonight.
Fantastic.
I told him a little bit what we are planning to do.
Met by chance or by providence, I don't know, one or the other. It certainly is coming together for this event in many, many ways. I don't know what it's. Say that again?
Both of us were invited to this meeting and kind of as a brainstorming meeting, and yeah, it was interesting. So I mentioned the project we are doing, and he said, hey, I'm the brother of.
Fantastic.
Okay. And he's
Okay.
very much involved actually with NFTs and blockchain, so we need really to have a chat with him.
Perfect.
Separately.
And there was a bit of a confusion with the emails yesterday. At least I was very confused because it looked like Dr. M had accepted the invitation and declined it, but it was in declined first and accepted second. So I'm hoping that she's going to be at this meeting. And I don't know if you read that email yet, that for the time, I'd like to pick one that she's available for.
Yes, she's available for both.
For both, okay. I haven't gone in it to check the emails yet, so perfect. Yeah. And I'm fine with the earlier one for that. So this is, for the rest of you, this is our meeting with the ocean cleanup with Leonard. This will be our third week meeting with him. Absolutely fabulous gentleman. And Dr. Mihaela will show up with us as well. This is the people that we're trying to connect with to present at the event, and that we're also hoping to support with the sales of the NFT. Shlomo Cohen's Apocalypsia NFT. So it's coming together quite beautifully. We've had a little bit extra time to do this. Our Twitter space is coming up on Thursday, the next one. So, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in sync or out of sync, or something's happening here anyways. And Dylan's popping in too. I've invited him to come in. He's just shared in the chat about his project with CO2 and algae. And Yoram, I'm feeling like this is a really big connection with the ocean cleanup as well. So Dylan, if you're free, I don't know, Yoram, how you feel about that. Maybe he can join us on Thursday as well for the meeting. I don't know how many people we want to have in on that.
Hey, Dylan, it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
How are you?
Did we lose Yoram, or am I just, no, we've got him on the screen. So we just had a whole bunch of people pop in and it's.
No, I'm here. I just left the last 2 minutes. I basically got home. I'm going to connect from home now.
Okay, so Dylan, we're just kind of starting our agenda. It's gotten a little bit off track, but we'll get back on for tomorrow and stuff. Maybe we'll figure this out in the next few days. We have this meeting with the ocean cleanup on Thursday. Maybe it's a good time for you to pop in on that or not. I'll double check with Yoram and see how that goes. But for now, we should get back to our agenda because we're almost 10 after already. So we've got the, thank you, Nori, for taking notes. So this is the agenda that we had. It's tentatively, but we need to adjust this obviously. So I had thought about Essential Cardano. We have this opportunity to work on their beta project. Yoram and myself don't have the time to be testing this. So we're hoping that somebody else will do that. We have the ocean cleanup. We have our gimbal token, just, I know you're driving. I'm just putting these topics out here that's on here for now. Accounting, Andre is power out. So he's going to be presenting tomorrow at a breakout room or the main event. And the gimbal token experiment. What do we need on the agenda instead of or in addition to this? What's first? Anybody?
No, just to finalize with Harry for tomorrow, right? I just want to.
Yeah, that's the planning for the Wednesday meetup. Yes, that's on it too, standard. Okay, so Essential Cardano, Simon, you had mentioned, sorry, and Nori, I'm popping into this. It's just unusual to have you or someone to take notes, and I'm kind of been used to taking over, and I'm having a hard time not doing notes. So I apologize for that if I'm messing things up. Let's readjust here. Essential Cardano, Simon, you had mentioned that you would be interested in looking at it. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Okay, so then we need to get you permission to be able to do it. And we've had a couple emails back and forth. It is a closed beta testing at this point, so we have to get permission. I think, Yoram, did you want to ask or should I ask again?
No, I can ask. Simon, just send me your email address, please. Put it here and I will ask them. I actually tried it a little bit.
Yeah, I think they didn't understand that it was somebody from our group, like from our core team, that would be working on it.
Yeah.
Could we back up just a little bit and explain what Essential Cardano is and why one would participate?
It's Yoram, do you want to go ahead on that one?
Yeah, I'm just closing the 1 second. Closing the Zoom here.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, so Essential Cardano is a trial by IOG to create a kind of, if you want, a wiki for content by the community. Or kind of a decentralized content, so community members can write content, others validate that, and then it goes kind of live, and through that to create kind of a center of content. So that's kind of the project they're trying to promote. And somehow we managed to get into that. They invited people like Cardano Cube and you know, different projects like that for the call. And yeah, we said that we want to do it as a community kind of. They invited us for the call through another call we had with them, with Morgan, on another issue. So yeah, so that's the thing, and it's still going to run for a few weeks. I actually tried the system the other day. I uploaded two of our events and to the system, and just to check it out. Yeah, so I mean, it's nice to try it and see if we can give any feedback. The objective is for them is to get feedback what we think about it. So I think it's good to have a few more people. Like, you know, if people are interested, I write an email and say, can they give us 3 more entries or 4 more entries, and then you guys can try it out and give feedback. So if anyone is interested, just maybe leave your email here, and I will write to them just after the call, and you can try it out.
See, it's so much better when you explain things, Yoram. I get a little bit stressed and I forget, and it's just too much. And, you know, it's one of the reasons why I'm feeling like I need to bring in my attention and my focus on fewer things. I'm just not able to keep up on all this stuff, unfortunately. So, yeah, thank you for that.
No, I mean, each one doing his part. So together we will do incredible.
Yeah, so let's, readjust this agenda. This is a framework that I slapped together really quickly. What else do we need to talk about?
I have if we have time in the end, I have a crazy topic for us, but if we have time.
Okay, put it in there. What is it? Or do you want to
It's,
keep it a surprise?
Yeah, let's see. Let's go with the meeting and then see if we have time. Otherwise,
Well,
we'll do it
see, you
another
know what
time.
the thing is, though, if you give us a crazy topic, it's kind of like dessert. We may
Yeah.
want to just rush through supper and get to that dessert, or we might just take our time and not realize how fantastic this is. So
I think that's Yorum's plan.
he wants to keep it a surprise.
Yeah. Big surprise. No, we'll see. Anyway, let's go with the schedule,
Okay.
and then I haven't heard from Harry, which is worrying for me. 1 second. Just confirm that for everyone. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just double check too with Andre if he's going to
Okay. Yeah, we have Harry in tomorrow. Are great.
and Andre, his power's out today, so he'll do a presentation on the accounting piece tomorrow during the meetup. So we'll add him in there. What are we doing about proposals? Where are we at in Catalyst for voting VCA? We're still in VCA, aren't we? When does voting start?
I think we're now into the voting phase.
Voting is on the 14th.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow's our last day pre-voting. I think it's probably a good time to be doing something on that during the meetup. Big portion of it, I'm assuming.
So last week, Simon and I were looking at some of the existing form data, and we created a simplified one and then put it out there. I don't know, I haven't looked to see if there's been big response or not, but
Yeah, I just looked. It's 7 responses right now.
okay, that's something. That's good.
So is that in addition to the one that I did?
Yeah.
That had I think there was 12, 14, 20 proposals on there. Did you find that one?
Yeah, so we'll definitely use those. And there was some feedback that
Too much information?
He couldn't fill it all out, so we simplified it to get. We just need the proposal link and a brief blurb that we can pass around to the community. So we simplified it a bit, sent it out. So I guess we got 7 more. So we can compile that list for tomorrow, and then.
Yeah, because last fund we did a slide deck and had everybody on there, at least once in the different categories, became kind of a little bit of a list. Always good feedback to get on these forms before they go out, and but better after than not at all. So that's good. It's good. I'm glad you're using that.
Yeah, and I think the previous form wasn't specifically to create a pick list, so I think the data we gathered is really good. It just, for this purpose, we wanted something really lightweight so people could put it together because we only had a week.
Yeah, and I want to say I really liked the is your proposal related to part. I think that was well thought out.
Sorry, what was that, Simon?
There is a part where you could put in what your proposal is related to. I think that was a really good part. I left that in.
Yeah, well, the whole intention to
time
begin with is to figure out collaborations and get people to work together first before we start separating into different projects and competing for funds. So, you know, if we could figure that out somehow, each time it keeps repeating itself. So maybe we'll get that figured out for Fund 9. We can collect that information ahead of time, even begin now, you know. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah. So do you guys, are you going to present? What are you up to, what are you up to with that for tomorrow?
Can probably compile a spreadsheet with a list of things and then share it at the meeting to say, here's a list of proposals for your consideration. I'm really leery of saying these are the ones you should vote for.
I know, I don't like that either, because we have to tell people that they're still responsible. This is a community generated list. We're still responsible as voters to do the reading, do the studying, and choose. I think that was the big piece that was missing last with the kerfuffle in Fund 7 was, you know, basically do a brainless downvote. And you know, I know that none of us want to promote that. So so Picklist even.
Yeah, so my thought is to take the form results and actually go to the voter tool and create a real C4C pick list in there that we can then share with a URL, if everyone's okay with that.
Mm-hmm. And is that almost like a keyword? You know, when you do a keyword search, impact related proposals or Cardano for climate proposals? Because again,
the voter tool allows you to save your votes as a pick list, and then you can share it with people.
Got it.
It's a way of sharing stuff. And because C4C itself isn't going to vote, as far as I know, we can use the tool just to kind of put all the climate and impact related proposals from the community in one place for people to consider looking at. Is
it possible to let the community know that this is what you're doing in the Telegram, you know, and then that gives them, you know, a reason to fill out the form and get their information out there? Because, you know, if we wait till tomorrow, start collecting it, voting's already almost over. You know, if we could get it done ahead of time would be great.
Yeah, so Simon sent out a bunch of broadcasts last week about the form. And
in Telegram, was it?
Yeah, Telegram, Discord, and Twitter.
That's weird because I missed it. So, but yeah, it's possible. And did you do it in our C4C Telegram or in other ones?
I put it in the collaboration group, the C4C collaboration.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry, I just missed it, I guess.
It's the right one, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the main one that has 250 members in it. So that would be the other one. And then, you know, I've done it in the past where I've just shilled in Catalyst proposals, you know, anybody that's got any proposals related to impact, they may not even be aware of Cardano for climate yet, especially if they're new. So anyways, I will leave that in your capable hands to do that. So we'll have a big portion of that at tomorrow's meetup, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's valuable to go through each proposal one by one, but just to share, here's the list. We've compiled it from the community. You can now use it to go do your homework and help you find those proposals that are impact or climate related that have been submitted, just to make it easier for people, because this time we're scattered across so many different challenge settings. It's going to be hard to locate and vote for the things that are important.
Yeah, yeah, as it has been.
Maybe we can also do one last call to action for them to put in their proposals and be updated, or I'm going to update it in the evening at that day.
And that's the thing too. This is more about the process of getting your information into something in front of people to vote rather than the actual content. Because at this point, going through the content will take too long. And then each individual, even as a voter concerned about impact, I'd rather have a succinct list to go through, and I can read through these different proposals. So that's, that's the part about it. We may not have the time to advertise. We can also do a breakout room for people to share their proposals. I think that would also be and this would be C4C community proposals. So that's everybody, not just the ones that are coming from us.
I'm sorry.
So what do you want to call this section of the agenda?
C4C Picklist.
C4C Picklist. And Nori and Simon, you'll both host it, or?
Sure.
Of course.
See how I do that? I just go in there and I start doing some note taking. Can't help it.
Notes are collaborative, so if something
that's
you
it.
want to add something, everybody should be typing in there.
Yes, so the link is in the chat. If you want to add anything, please add. It's not just a one-person job, that's for sure. And as far as order of the meeting tomorrow, can we do swap these out, like pick list first, and then Harry and the Impact Accelerator, Andre, Treasury Board. Anything else for the meetup tomorrow? I wouldn't mind actually, not for you. I don't know that this would be confusing, but the ongoing gimbal token PBL that's ongoing, I think that's always good to have a little piece of that in the meetup and a breakout room to go. Especially new people wondering what's going on, they're not part of the fund or anything like that. That might be something interesting. So I'll take care of that piece of it, but also I'm not the only one doing this, so having extra help giving the bigger picture on this would be great. So okay, anything else? I think everybody's holding back so that Yoram will be able to tell us his big surprise. I'm sorry, but I'm getting a sense of that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I have
great.
second thoughts if to tell you the surprise or to tell you something. No, I will. Yeah, I will tell you another surprise next week. Every week I will tell you a surprise. No, no, I can tell actually that one, but yeah, no. You want me to share it now? Something?
Okay, just are we done? So I just want to make sure.
I mean, it's great also to have so many people here. So if anyone who have ideas or things to share, I mean, it's welcome.
Yeah.
Anyway, just in the meantime, before I show, well, yeah.
So one thing that we didn't cover on the agenda was the ocean cleanup needing a fiat, not ADA, for a donation. This is one thing that I've been thinking about, and it's like, well, how the heck as a community of volunteers do we actually turn ADA into fiat? We're not a business. We're not an organization. You know, how does
Yeah,
that
but
work?
it's not a problem, right? I mean, because we collect everything in ADA and then you do one transfer into fiat and you send it out. I mean, it's
Who does that though?
A taxable
so
event. But
Yeah,
depends where
that's
you-
kind of
the
like all of a sudden I do that on my Binance account, and it's like, where did that come from? Melanie Russo from Canada in Cherryville, right? You know, so there's an issue here, and it's kind of an elephant in the room that I'm not sure that we can handle, and maybe it needs to
Well,
go through somebody like Cardano Foundation.
maybe we can
I-
send it to them. Actually, in we open for them a wallet in ADA and they do the transfer
Well, they
to
have,
fiat.
Why
But
do
they-
they not take ADA, if I may
no,
ask?
they have a crypto wallet. They already have accepted Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they prefer a fiat for their own accounting purposes. So
Yeah,
so this is the issue that we're coming across, just like in Malawi. You know, how does Pike get fiat out of the ADA we send him? So it's not going to be the first, and it won't be the last time that we're coming up against this, but maybe we can figure something out on that end of stuff. Because I know I can't do it. I can't.
I don't think there is an easy fix for that.
Exactly. Charities prefer fiat because crypto, the volatility, that's what Leonard brought up, was the volatility of ADA is.
Well, if that's the problem, then I think we have the bigger problem of transferring it into fiat.
Yes and no. You know, if the transferring into fiat wasn't an issue, we'd have X number of dollars and we would give it across to them. That's not a big deal. But I think because we're dealing with people that aren't familiar with crypto, this is a bridge that we need to build and help them understand how this can be done. And it might be a matter of, because imagine if they start accepting crypto, hopefully not Bitcoin because of the impact, but if they started accepting crypto, they could actually work out how to get it easier, you know, and figure it out. Maybe it's just a scary piece for them.
Yeah, I mean, also we are just starting, right? And the amounts are going to be low. So if you know, going forward, making a stronger relationship with them, it's a different discussion, I think. But I think for them to do it for initial amounts probably the challenge.
I mean, if they want to collaborate with us, isn't kind of the interesting part getting involved with crypto?
It would be if they approached us, yes, but we approach them. So it's a whole different angle. And if we're offering something, we can't offer part of it and expect them to fill in the pieces. So yeah.
No, and also it's a process to onboard such big organization, right? I mean, into the crypto world, and it should be a process to onboard them to Cardano.
And all all it does is identify issues for me, and it's like, okay, there's one more thing that we need to consider and to solve, and it's solvable, and we will be able to figure that out. So
we're going to run into this more and more often as we work with people outside of the community. So thinking about it and finding a way to solve this, I think I agree that would be a really good thing. Maybe it's time that Cardano for Climate looks at actually becoming a nonprofit somewhere, so that we have an organization that can convert ADA to fiat and the tax burden doesn't lie in some risky thing where some individual goes, I'll do it, and then they get slammed with the taxes later. We should have an organization that protects people, as well as being able to legally do this and do it right.
This is actually one of our proposals is exactly this, and we look at this as an issue with going from fiat to Cardano and then into workable businesses. So we've proposed to identify a way to do this legally with registrations or whatever's needed, and then provide it to the community so others can follow those steps. Legally set up, whether you need to set up foundations or how you can do it, and then the best way to deal with tax in that regards. So there's a lot to it in starting a business that works on crypto and off crypto, and how to exchange that cash flow between them in the best regards. That's sort of one of our main goals of one of the 2 proposals we submitted.
That's amazing.
So this is kind of curious. You know, Yoram, you ran into the brother of the marketing from the TOC. I'm talking to Dylan today, and I think he's coming here because of his cool project on algae and how it can take carbon and turn it into feed the algae. And here you've got this piece, Dylan, that you've been, you know, another piece of you. Can you also drop your proposal in the chat? And I'm
I haven't even submitted it to the group one, so I'd like to know where to do that.
Right. So you missed Fund 8 altogether, didn't you? Because
no, we did the proposal, and then I think about a day afterwards I got COVID, and I was pretty sick for about 2 weeks, and I've been recovering, but a lot of work to catch up on because of that. But we've basically got 2 proposals. One's for a sort of an algae hub where we've connected other members that we could find in algae, and we keep finding more and what we could do, possibly collaborate with more people. Talking to sort of one small town and a few other people about getting involved with them. And then the other one is how to basically set up a on-chain, off-chain business that works with Cardano, to get the cash flow working, and how we could get algae token onto the chain and do it legally and transparently. So that's a big sort of bottleneck at this stage. So they're the 2 that we suggested doing, and we thought if we could get that information and sort of then share how it's done or how we've found to do it, then next person in line can use that and then improve upon it, and everyone sort of learns and improves as we go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
awesome.
This is a very, very, very interesting topic. And just to connect something interesting stuff to that, I saw there is an organization that's called Purpose Economy. Purpose Economy, Steward Ownership. I don't know if you know them, in Germany-based organization. And actually, and I know I follow them for some time now. And I think their model of actually, it's kind of a new form also of legal entities that separate between the rights of investors and rights of the mission of the company. And kind of have a golden share, how you maintain the mission of the company over time, even if you have investors that have majority in the company, basically, while the investor need to enjoy the return. And I was actually talking with people related to them, how can this be related to blockchain? Because there's a lot of similarities, right, between investment and mission and governance and all of that. So really excited to see what you're doing and think on that. I think it's a great opportunity to combine these new models.
And that's the other thing that we're looking at doing, because to make algae farms that people can sort of invest in through cryptocurrency, but then whether we just make them a social impact sort of enterprise or non-for-profit. And I guess it would depend on the regulations of the country that you're building in. So that would have to be fairly flexible as well. But then getting that Cardano to come back and forwards is the part that needs to be rock solid. And then from there, you can have the separate entities. I mean, our sort of mission is to then make a profit, but then put that profit back into the token. So it keeps, building the token. But it gets difficult because, we don't want to, promise investors that there will be a return. I mean, but we know that there will be. But, we like to be able in the end to then, help feed the poor and do good that we can, which is a lot more difficult in sort of when you're looking at it as a corporate idea just to make money. So that's the benefits there. But
it's amazing what you're doing, and it will be great. Maybe you can present it next Wednesday meetup if you feel like. I think it's interesting to present next or the following one. I don't know what everyone thinks, but I think it will be a very interesting topic to present to the community, the way of thinking and how to create a sustainable company, sustainable blockchain legal companies.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
And we've spoken with sort of other blockchains, and they're interested actually for us to swap over and talking that sort of talk. We're very sort of into Cardano because of its peer review and everything, being scientists, how it's being made, and I have a very strong belief in it. So then looking at possibilities of like cross-chain things, I mean, it could happen, but I think it would get very difficult. And that's, I mean, at this stage, dealing with, the problems at hand of how to set up a token and then set up a business to run off that and then do it, legally. And, you obviously, no one wants to pay too much tax, but there will have to be tax paid, and you need to do that because you just have to. But
well, you're going to really put the damper on whatever meeting as soon as you say tax.
I know.
It's kind of the reality of life, though, isn't it?
It is.
So
it is,
sorry, Dylan, I'm going to cut you off. I'm cognitive of the time, and we do need to move on. So I'm just curious. You mentioned should Dylan present tomorrow a little bit? Give him an opportunity, or this might make you feel stressed, and you do not need to be stressed if you've had COVID. I want to
I can see what I can do. It's just going to be late. I mean, compared to now, what time will it be? Or will it be about now?
Is it? No, it would have started 45 minutes ago, the meetup.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's 1 a.m. my time. I can do that.
Sorry, are you sure? On my calendar, it says 1 hour and 45 minutes. Oh, yeah.
So our meetup should be 45 minutes, starting 45 minutes ago. UTC.
Exactly, for me as well. Yeah.
All right.
So
3 p.m. UTC.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the time change kerfuffle. So Dylan, let's put a spot in there for you. It's only going to be about 5 minutes. So no
that's fine.
pressure on that. And then, maybe it goes in further and we continue to do this because this is a big issue. It's also good for you because it's during the voting, an opportunity for you, despite the fact that you've been wiped out with everything else. I think maybe let's just do that 5-minute spot tomorrow, and then we'll see ongoing. And then maybe there's more connections across Catalyst, because I know you're not the only one working with the legalities and regulations. So, okay, so moving on though, I'll continue to work on the meetup for tomorrow. Add Dylan. If you can send me a slide that we can put in our meetup ahead of time, that'd be awesome, Dylan. And then I'll slip that in.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just sort of play it by ear. It's pretty casual, nothing perfect, not quite town hall yet, but we'll work with that. And I'll continue to do that. I'll set up the agenda. I'll put that in the core team chat, Telegram chat. So if everybody could just confirm that that's going to work, or please feel free to jump in and say, hey, I want to take this over, Melanie. I'd rather do that than you. So please feel free to do that too. Otherwise, I think we're at the point where we need dessert, Joram.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm afraid that I might jump too fast. No, I mean I'm going to show you something, but I have two different things. So, but the one that I have is yeah. I mean I need to ask Sean for approval for that. Something that Sean is working on. So I would like to ask his approval, and then I will share it with you next week. But I will show you something else for tomorrow that is actually related.
Co-host, right?
Okay, yeah. But I will share something else that that is for tomorrow, actually in the town hall. So you're going to see a preview of that, and it's related to what Dylan just said. 1 second, let me share my screen. So basically, Cole, myself, and Raz started to work on a kind of a platform. On you see my screen, right?
Yep.
So it's not the surprise I originally wanted to say, and that we'll wait for Sean for that. But it's kind of another surprise that's going to be tomorrow. So Cole, Raz and myself, as part of a funded proposal of strategy framework, started to work on this mirror board, and it's going to see it tomorrow in the town hall and after town hall. And the objective of that is, you know, when we define funded proposals, there is very big gap of what does it mean funded proposal, right? There is community proposal, there is companies, there is tools, there are different things. So we basically started to analyze all the ecosystem of funded proposal in order to create a collaborative platform for that, right? So we had a challenge last fund about acceleration and mentors, right? And this is the 12 first ones here is the different projects that got funded.
Nice.
Okay, it's the 12, and then you start having different, and this is what they offer. So what they offer and how they integrate, and then you have Entrepreneur D, which is they didn't get funded, but they are working with IOG on as incubation, and Cardano, and this one another incubator, and then we start having communities, right? How the communities impact in acceleration and mentorship, and so that's one part. Then we started to analyze what is funded proposal. What does it mean? So we have a lot of proposal going into Catalyst infrastructure. A lot of proposals are community, open source tech tool, which are not going to be companies and other. And we analyzed the 42 funded proposal that send reports, ending reports. And that's kind of, you can see that there's actually a big percentage of tech tools within that, which is interesting to see, right? So just starting to understand, you know, the ecosystem a little bit. Here is some source data of who actually got funded in terms of the 20 biggest funding, people, organization, whatever you want to call it, right? And when they got funded. So we can see that's kind of interesting data. This is Spark actually got 4% of the funding up to date. Okay, it's an interesting data with 13 proposals. Okay, I mean, it's just that start to give us information to the community. Here we have the sources where we took the information from. But then we go into much interesting area of starting to evaluate what is acceleration and mentor ecosystem, right? What we need for that in our ecosystem. And we start seeing education and technology and start filling that up. It's kind of going to be a working platform by the community. And also when we want to accelerate something, so there is different acceleration, right, for companies, right? It's the pre-proposal, funded proposal, incubation, growth, blah, 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 comparing to open source tools. So we need to kind of focus on different acceleration for different types of categories. Anyway, this is just to share with you, because I think, and to use that, or if we look here, so how do we use, if we look on acceleration, so, you know, from catalyst to then incubation, acceleration, growth, we generate data across the board. How can we use the data that we generate for the benefit of everyone, right? about, I mean, not everyone, we don't have to use the data again if entrepreneur is getting data from in the incubation process from funded proposals. I mean, that can be used also across the board for different things, as long as the data obviously is available and not secret and all of that. So yeah, just sharing with you, kind of pre-sharing with you this platform, which is hopefully going to be a collaborative platform. I'm going to share the link here. And it's kind of driven also by Chris and IOG, that he wants to create a, yeah, I mean, if we think about it, we have 500 funded proposal, but this year is going to get additional 1,500 funded proposal. What we are going to do with them, right? and how we are going to put them, where they are going to be part, you know, what services we are going to give them. So professional services is one, and other, you know, so all of that need to go into kind of into a process. How we are going to scale communities, right? That's also an issue, right? Or not an issue, a solution. WADA, C4C, and Gimbal Lab, and so on. So all of that is kind of entering into processes. Yeah, so just sharing with you before. Happy to get feedback about that. And I'm going to share it with you here, the link, so everyone can also contribute to that.
So this is going to be presented at Town Hall tomorrow?
So only Mercy kind of wanted to present it shortly. And then after that, we will have after Town Hall breakout room. So Mercy will just mention that. And yeah, and then we will have a breakout room to discuss it and how to work on it and how to improve it. And
I'm just wondering how this could maybe fit into our meetups as well, Yoram. You know, an ongoing collaboration and work on that. Do you need space at the meetup?
I think impact can be obviously a major part of that, the impact evaluation and the impact sector in general. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind to present it tomorrow.
Okay, you don't mind? You're in.
No, but happy to get feedback. What do you think? I mean, from everyone, is it cool? Is it interesting? Is it helpful?
It's encouraging, Yoram. That's what it is for me. It's when I see other amazing people doing all these projects and bringing these pieces together, the work that comes together, and then we get to take part in it because of your work. That lightens my load, knowing that you're doing this kind of stuff. So I want to just say thank you for that. That's my feedback.
I have a question, Yoram. Are you just gathering information, or are you creating like a container for accelerators and mentors, or what's the elevator pitch?
So
I just wanted to get clear on that.
I think the end goal here, from how it's developing, it started from analyzing the market and kind of try to create acceleration plan for each one of them, for each sector. That was the plan of the proposal, but it should be a collaborative platform. Like this for me is a key one that I didn't figure that out yet, is how we create the link between the different accelerators within the community, right? Between the technology. I mean, there is a lot of links. It's very complementary, actually. If you look on the different services that is offered up to now, they are quite complementary. So basically, is how we create a joint technology information database, centralized location for the information. I mean, to build a growth strategy for each one of the categories, it's quite complex. I mean, we need the help on that and kind of use that as a central source for sharing information, for sharing use cases, for sharing if we look on investment, or why not put in all the investment links here and everyone knows that they are here. I really see it as a working platform for all of us, if it makes sense. Everyone has access to that. Yeah.
Would you call this part in the meetup, connecting the pieces?
Connecting the pieces is a good name for that, yeah.
Yeah, and if I used a picture of a puzzle, would that work as a good intro for you? Okay, your slides, that part is done. You just need to figure out how you want to present it for tomorrow. And then, yeah. Perfect. I think we're running out of time though, aren't we? So sorry, that was great dessert, Yoram. Thank you for that. It feels.
It was not the one initially intended, but for that I need approval from Sean, so I'm waiting.
George.
Yeah, so very good data. And when I look at the stats, Yoram, it's very interesting. And the number of proposals, are they the funded proposals or the proposals that were submitted?
So it's an excellent question. And if you look on this section here again, so we can see through the funds, how many proposals were suggested and how many funded. Okay. And so in Fund 7, we have 936 proposed and 269 funded. And here we have another interesting data, which is out of the funded proposal, 183 were funded only one time, and 390 were funded, people got funded several times. Okay, so, and then I put your notes because your question is very good. I mean, also related to what we do with the non-funded proposals. How do we accelerate them, right? How do we make sure they get funded? So here, I mean, we can put some ideas and questions, and because I mean, there was thousands of proposals proposed and they didn't go funded. What happened with them, right? What happened to the people that came with them? So all of these things we need to try and answer in order to improve the efficiency of what we are doing.
On the right side table on the stats, like you have the table with the primary proposer also, and the number of proposals. Are they all funded? On
here, table? On the table, which one? On this one?
Yeah.
Or this one?
No, the left table.
So this one is actually a doc that's provided by IOG of all the funded proposals and their status. So it's a doc that provided in all the information here is information that is available. We just put it together somehow in a way that makes sense and organized, and yeah, that is organized.
That's good. Thanks, Yoram. Yeah, it's good.
George, were you talking about the table with the blue header?
Yeah, the blue header where the second column was the number of proposals.
Those
this one.
Those are funded.
Yeah. So
I think you were looking at it mirror image, Yoram.
No, so this is all funded proposal here. Yeah.
Okay. So in this case, for example, Marek is 24 proposals are funded.
Yeah, and you can see the funds that he got funded: 4 in Fund 3, 15 in Fund 4, and then 5 in Fund 5. Okay. Right? And the amount of value and average per proposal.
Very cool data. Okay, we need to wrap up in 2 minutes. How are we going to do this?
We should celebrate Peter being up on that board.
Peter, say more, Nori.
Peter Van Gardner.
Right.
He's in the middle of that chart. So that means some impact related proposals are getting pretty heavily funded.
That's the Landano one, isn't it?
Landano, Orcfax, and maybe another.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Thank you, Nori.
3 proposals.
Thank you for that. Yes. Okay, we do need to wrap up. We've got a hard stop in a minute for our next meeting. Tomorrow's meetup, same times. Go through meetup and we'll share the link. Any questions before we wrap up? Any other questions or comments? We're all good? Everybody's happy? How you feeling? Newman, awesome. There we go. Good to see you on video. Dimitri, thanks for showing up at this terrible hour for you. And Dylan, same, you know, this is a terrible hour for you to be up. We're going to have to cut off the European contingent or something so that we can get this at a better time.
Or open up a new one at the Pacific Town Hall.
Open up a new one. That will be, anybody is welcome to take that on. That's for sure. You know, doing that kind of piece of work. Okay, thank you everybody for showing up on time.
Thank you very much.
And adding your input here. This was interesting. I had no idea what would come out of this meeting, and it's turned into something quite beautiful. So thank you everybody for being here. All right, we'll see you tomorrow or see you around in cyberspace.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.